This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 10, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world inwardly calls God. Yahweh meaning He exists. Bahashem meaning in the name. Yahushai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, meaning He delivers. Bahashem in the name. Rakaha Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth of risking their own lives through the four corners of the earth. And to the Aquathium listening, learning in sincerity and in truth and in silence. Shalom. Akim meaning brothers, Aquathium meaning sisters, Shalom meaning peace be unto you. We'll get right into it. Zephaniah 1 verse 10. "And it shall come to pass in that day," right? It shall come to pass. Right? "Saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate," right? The fish gate, symbolic of the markets, the stock market, the banking system, "and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills," right? Governments, right? So this thing that's going to crash is the stock market, is the banking system, right? Right. And what's going to happen when this happens? It's gonna shut down everything as we know it. Verse 11. "Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh." Right? Maktesh was an ancient city of trade. Right? What's that likened to today? The stock market, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, the S&P. "For all the merchant people are cut down," right? The traders. "All they that bear silver are cut off," the bankers. Right? You see, once the money system crashes, trade goes out the window. Right? And we see, what does it say in Ecclesiastes? "The keepers of the house shall tremble." The keepers of the house are the stock analysts, the bankers. Right? Why are they trembling? Because they're seeing the signs of a crash. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 3. "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble," right? The keepers of the house are the bankers, stock market portfolio watchers, the stock analysts. "And the strong men shall bow themselves." The strong men are the middle class. Right? We're seeing the middle class be wiped out. "And the grinders cease," because they are few. The grinders, workers. Right? Few workers, few jobs. "And those that look out of the windows be darkened." Right? The future, looking into the future. What does the future hold? What's the 6-month forecast look like? What's the 12-month forecast look like? What does the 2-year forecast look like? And all these stock analysts and portfolio managers and they're looking. They give you the 6-month trend, or what does 6-month hold? The 12-month trend. What did 5 years ago look like? This is the trend. This is what happened. This is where we're going, right? the future, looking at they that look out the windows, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, right? It's not looking good, right? It's not looking good. This article came out on News Target, December 16, 2022, the year of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai turning up. Salakia. What does it say here? CBDC in 2023. Federal Reserve planning to implement FedNow, that's what they're calling it, digital currency between May and July of 2023. Right? Right. It says here, America's new digital dollar is almost here as the Federal Reserve gears up to unleash its FedNow program at some point between now and next July. Right? And the key thing here is, in order to do this, so they're telling you here they plan to release it between now and next July. In order to do this, the way of doing things now has to be done away with. I'm not going to read this whole article. I just wanted to hit a key point. Lord willing, I'll leave it in the description box. Brandon Howes spoke with Rebecca Wasser about the shift, which is right now being piloted in anticipation of a soon full release. Here's how the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System describes the FedNow service. The FedNow service will be available to depository institutions in the U.S. and will enable individuals and businesses to send instant payments through their depository institution accounts. The service is intended to be a flexible, neutral platform that supports a broad variety of instant payments. At the most fundamental level, the service will provide interbank clearing and settlement that enables funds to be transferred from the account of a sender to the account of a receiver in near real time and at any time, any day of the year. Depository institutions and their service providers will be able to build on this fundamental capability to offer value-added services to their customers. The FedNow service will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and for instant processing. End-of-day balances will be reported on the Federal Reserve's accounting records for each participating Salakia depository institution every business day, while intraday credit will be provided using the same terms and conditions as other Federal Reserve services. It goes on to say here, all of this is being peddled by the Fed as a convenience to the public, right? When he speaketh fear, believe him not. That's in Proverbs 24. Right? Because there are 7 more abominations in his heart, roughly paraphrasing. Right? It says here, all of this is being peddled by the Fed as a convenience to the public and a solution to the engineered, right? This is the point I wanted to make. And a solution to the engineered collapse that will predicate it. Right? The engineered collapse. All right, ultimately it's the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. This is his will. Right? Because the grain of rice, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. Right? In order to push that, all of this got to be done away with. Right? Then they bring their CBDC. And then what comes from the CBDC? The Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. Right? All of this is being peddled by the Fed as a convenience to the public and a solution to the engineered collapse that will predicate it. In the end, the masses will be herded into a total surveillance and police state where the people will have to prove their identity digitally in order to participate in this new digital money, it says SCAM system, right? This is where these elites are going, right? And Jake out here is oblivious. Jake out here is mirthing it up. Jake out here thinking it's gonna go, everything gonna go on forever. 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, right? Esau, Edom, the Idumean, these ruling class elites, the bankers, right? The banking cartels, the banking families, the so-called white man. For we are not ignorant of his devices, right? Who's the we? The elect. Lord willing, we're of that number. Not ignorant, ignorant meaning not knowledgeable of his devices. Right? What's his device? He's got many devices. But what's the main one he wants to push? This Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. Stay prayed up, ceasing. Shalom to the hopeful elect.